Well, Corpus Christi police and rescue crews are busy out on the roadways tonight. They're working several traffic accidents, and of course all of the main highways in Corpus Christi have now been closed down. Here's a look at some video we took earlier this evening near SPID and Airline. Officers were called out to block off the on-ramps all along both directions of SPID as police were dealing with several crashes. Authorities are urging everyone just to stay off of the roads. And of course, as we mentioned, all the major roadways in Corpus Christi have been closed due to the icy conditions, and that obviously includes the east and westbound lanes of South Padre Island Drive. The entire stretch from I-37 to Padre Island is closed. Same goes for the Crosstown Expressway. Both north and southbound lanes are shut down from I-37 to South Padre Island Drive. Police are asking drivers tonight to pay attention to the barricades and to not try to drive around them. And late this evening, the city announced the closure of the Harbor Bridge. This is a live look at the bridge as it stands right now. Ice has been forming on most major overpasses this evening. The city's Emergency Operations Center has been activated and will continue to monitor all roadways throughout the night. Also in Portland, just the other side of the bridge, US 181 has been closed. That last word was primarily from Moore Avenue to Buddy Gannam. More closures to tell you about tonight is the JFK Causeway, Oso Bridge at State Highway 358, and the Joe Fulton Corridor Ramp at Carbon Plant Road are no longer open. Tonight, the Nueces County ESD number 2 reported a 7-car pileup at the Oso Bridge. According to TxDOT, US 77 from Robstown to Cal Allen is shut down. Again, all major roadways and overpasses, including I-37, cannot be driven on because of the ice.